you being condescending. Just move on, right? Just move forward amicably.
Okay, well, check this out. First of all, you're throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the setting.
Okay, see, now you found yourself a nigga. You looking for a nigga? Nigga here now, see?
My mind is so spectacular. Open up your aperture. You don't like the light that I be shining, bitch. You Dracula. Southern draw vernacular. Flip you like a spatula. Knew that I was built to put this world up on my scapula. I've been on this road so long, my tires bald. I don't wanna text and no, I don't wanna call. Came in this shit running, bitch. I don't know how to crawl. We ain't never folding, I'm holding the highest card. Look, okay, grew up running post routes. Now I'm on the cash route. Better call the plumber, that boy spitting like a bass spout. All these bad women in this club, fuck is you mad about? Word to all my estheticians, boy, I'm about to lash out. Straight from St. John's to the east side. Jigging since the knee high. Watch the way I put on for my state, nigga, yeehaw. Respecting no everything. Crazy how I made it to the league from the bleach eyes. Boy, my shit hair wrong. Black, rich, and bare arms. Smoking on that yogi, this shit stronger than some bare arms. Goku, I'm in rare form. You cannot prepare for him. When I swing, it's like a carnivore. This shit ain't fair for him. Brought intellect back to this rap shit. You niggas need chapstick. Shit been dry for way too long, and I'm the matchstick. You niggas Nickelodeon me. I'm more like Cap Nick. Cap a nigga, throw him in front. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. About to blow like we just lit the fuse. We double dutch into this dough, I get this shit in twos. Push the button, get it started, put that shit in cruise. A little dust up on his heart, I barely get to use. A fool flatters himself, a wise man flatters a fool. Man, I just came to get it started like mechanics with tools. Cause in my hood, if you don't pack a tool, you planning to lose. These young boys deserve Oscars, they be acting a fool. A couple loose screws, but they hammer accurate. Ooh, I know some niggas stuck on drugs and manufacture it too. School of hard knocks, we all got our bachelor's. Food, no cap and gowns, but we all had the master. Party favors on the table, you can pick and choose. I would be lying if I said it, I don't get confused. I'm just a player in the game and I don't pick the rules. Why trouble always seem to find the ones with shit to lose. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh rack, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need a brake light. Say she don't smoke, but she always smoke with me, yeah. Backwards in the air, back up in the ovaries, yeah. All my ops, they stay running like they over easy. Yeah. Even my masseuse can't just get too close to me, yeah. Shout out to Next. Soon as the ink dry, we count out the checks, yeah. I never flex. I bought up a business, you bought up a section. I'm at the top of my class, yeah. Y'all never learn from your lesson. Skywalker gave me the force, yeah. Turn this into an obsession, yeah. I couldn't wait on the team, cooking shit up with just me rolling flag, yeah. Things never are what they seem, but we know the facts, yeah. Charging that shit to the game, but now I pull up with a battery pack, yeah. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and we can just leave it at that. I'm dumb lit, it's about to be a late night. Fresh rack, shawty, show me what it tastes like. Niggas know me in my city like I'm Wayne Wright. Got them looking up to me and we the same height. Ooh, I got it bad, deep in my bag. Foot on the gas, they cannot last. Swimming with the sharks, bitch, that's a great white. Never stopping, we don't even need no brake lights. Big bro, why they call you big bro? Every time we hit the bank, we deposit zip codes. Well connected with the streets like we out in Skid Row.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. I'm your host, Mr. BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle. Before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. All of our YouTube videos, hit that like button. Y'all come in here, hit the share, subscribe, hit that Cash App, $ Slick Rick Son, $ Slick Rick Son, 1991 Son. Right there, y'all see on the screen. Also, our Venmo, if you guys do not have Cash App, is at BJ/MATHEWS/1. at BJ/METHWS/1. If you guys do not have either Cash App or Venmo, you can also do our super stickers and super comments are all available. Very, very simple. Go right to that chat box in the bottom of that right-hand screen. You guys can donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast your own discretion as we put out this daily content weekly, yearly, and monthly. Let's get it popping. All right. So this is going to be a video that actually was not really planned. It wasn't something that I was planning to do, but I came across it, man. First of all, I want to give my shout out to my boy Eleazy, the real Eleazy. Go and follow him on his social media page, man. Warriors fan, all that good stuff. Very, very, talented brother. Also, former player as myself. I came across his video literally yesterday. I watched it about 2-3 different times. I ain't gonna lie. And y'all know me, like I like to, pick, if I can feel like I can take from somebody else's mind or kind of get in their head a little bit. If I find something interesting, I'm gonna talk about it. And he's one of them type of people, man. Like for y'all to know Eleazy, man, he's one of my favorite content creators, but also one of my favorite people because I could tell a person who's really, genuine. I could tell a person who knows what they're talking about. I could tell when a person actually is about, morals and all that good stuff, man. And, he's always been that type of person with me. So I always follow this channel, always follow his work. A few of my other content creators I give a shout out to, man. All of them, solid people. So yesterday, he come up early in the morning. I, watch this video. That nigga be up at like 4 or 5 a.m. Everything like that. Around that time, I'll be getting almost close to the bed. So I don't even get a chance to catch it, that early. But I definitely chase the rerun later that day. And I come across speaking about Steph Curry being ranked all time and how, for the most part, we should be looking at how we should rank Steph Curry at this point. And the video that he had was actually, something that, caught my eye because there's a lot of things in there that, I said, okay, well, yeah, okay, let me look in a little bit deeper. So I was spending a lot of time yesterday, not just looking at his video, but also researching what he was talking about. So what I want to do, just like I did for True to King TV, I kind of, took parts of the live video that we had the other day. I want to do the same thing with E, give him the same respect, kind of, let y'all see what he has to say, kind of feel his, pitch, feel his style. Also, like I said, go and follow that man. Y'all can see right there on the screen. I want y'all, kind of see what my man Eleazy had to say about Steph Curry be ranked all time. I'm gonna be stopping the video on and off, so y'all just bear with me. It's gonna be a very, very good, entertaining video. All right, so we're about to get into my boy E's video for a little bit. It's gonna be like a little about 3.5 minutes, of him speaking in the first segment. I'm gonna do 3-4 different segments. So as it's going, I'm gonna be stopping here and there, but I'm gonna let y'all kind of let the video play, let y'all kind of hear what my boy E has to say, and we're going to just kind of react to it. All right.
So let's talk about that ranking. Let's start comparing Steph Curry to LeBron's career since they kind of grew up together. Because LeBron don't compare to Kobe and MJ. It's no conversation here. So I'm done wasting my time trying to prove and get everybody to believe by Kobe and MJ is just 1-2 hands down.
See, and this is something that I want to, do before we start getting into it. That's what I'm saying. We as people who was actually witnessing Kobe, I witnessed that last half of Jordan at that three-peat and further on, in his Wizard years. But we have got to start shutting down this whole Kobe versus LeBron, MJ versus LeBron debate as fast as they want to try and dismiss Kobe at the top 10 because of personal reasons. We have to start actually putting that pressure on him because, like I said, again, a lot of Kobe supporters don't know how to actually argue for him. And they allow LeBron James fans to continuously run this muck. And I get it. A lot of it has to do with the media, but I'd say it all the time. And like I said the other day, there's 3 people at that table. That's Jordan, Kareem, and Kobe. However you want to mix it up after Jordan is your business, but there's 3 people at that table. No one else is at that table but those 3. You got LeBron following that up. You got Magic. You got Tim Duncan. That's another table. You got Larry Bird. You got Hakeem Olajuwon, you got Shaq. That's another table, right? So at this point, I don't really want to keep hearing about LeBron James being ranked near Kobe and Michael Jordan because we were all there. And I just think that is pretty much a disrespect. But we need to start shutting that down. So shout out to my boy E for that. So let's continue.
Above the field. That's it. Let's talk about Steph Curry and LeBron. That's a more even conversation. LeBron is a point guard, point forward, and Steph Curry is a point guard. They still run the point. They have the ball in their hands a lot. But the one thing that Steph Curry does better than anybody else, he's a point guard that can initiate offense and create shots for his teammates. And he's also a player that can play a two-guard role and move off the ball like Rip Hamilton, Ray Allen, and Reggie Miller. So not only do you got a guard who can dominate the game with the ball, you have a player that can dominate the game without the ball. Do you understand the bandwidth that he creates and the things that he opens up for his teammates? You would love playing with the guy. Look what Jordan Poole doing now. Even though that's my guy, and I still believe that he's going to have a fabulous season, he just going through some growing pains. It's like that when you change sceneries. You got to try to figure it out. But it was easier for him to be in his bag and to do the things that he do, because guess what? You had that dude up over there that's ready to light you up from 35 feet. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? Let's just call it what it is. Andrew Wiggins, if he leave the Warriors, he's done diddles.
So what E's doing right now is y'all come there and smash that like button. And I hope that y'all can hear pretty clearly. I know because E's been driving. Like I said, that nigga be up early in the morning. You guys can't even see his face. That's how early that nigga be up. Shout out to my boy E. What he's basically highlighting is that what Steph really had on his team and the type of elevation and the impact that he has. He named Jordan Poole. He named Andrew. He's about to name Andrew Wiggins, and then the list goes on and on. David Lee, David West, guys who are his teammates that haven't won anything outside of being with Steph and the Warriors. So, this is the job of a person who's defending somebody else, one of their players. Their job is to highlight their impact and what they do, not only with them, but also what they don't do without them. Let me say that again. It's not about just what you do with that player on that team. What did you do outside of being with that player in that team? And that just highlights Steph's impact. Jordan Poole, unfortunately, went through a rough season last year. And this year, you hope that he returns. Andrew Wiggins had a situation where he's with Cleveland, like he's about to name with LeBron. And then actually now with the Warriors, he won a championship in 2022. So that's what he's doing right now. I'm going to let the video continue to play.
See, when you play with Steph Curry, man, hey, he gets you rings. David West ain't never won no ring without no without no Steph Curry. David Lee ain't never won no ring without Steph Curry. Anderson Bears, y'all. We can keep the list go on and on. Ian Clark, who is that? Guard out of Belmont. If y'all watch college basketball, you'll know that. Nobody even wanted Andrew Wiggins anymore. He was the number 1 overall pick. Number 1. LeBron didn't even say hi to the guy. Didn't even introduce the guy. Didn't even come to none of his press conference, nothing. They traded the guy. LeBron said, "No, I can't work with that. Y'all got to give me something more." And then it didn't work out in Minnesota. And Stephen A said, "Man, I wouldn't trade that dude for a box of cereal." For a box of cereal.
I remember that. I just wanted to stop and let y'all know Stephen A. Smith did say that on the air. He didn't even say that behind closed doors. He said that I wouldn't trade Andrew Wiggins for a box of cereal because Andrew Wiggins was looked at as a guy who was not serious. He had all the talent in the world, especially coming into the league. He was the #1 pick. Big hands, high vertical, you know what I'm saying? Good size, all that. But the guy wasn't serious about his craft. He wasn't mentally prepared. They questioned his work ethic and they questioned his will. So when he upon coming to the Warriors, that's how he was actually looked at, not just, you know, not just amongst, the players, but also amongst the other teams and GM. So him saying Steph, because nobody comes to the Warriors without Steph's approval. They brought Andrew Wiggins in, and then all of a sudden he becomes a person who was close to being a Finals MVP besides Steph, which I'm gonna get to in a minute because he also highlighted that as well. I'm gonna let the video continue for a little more.
Steph Curry said, "Come here, Wiggs. Do you want to be an all-time? Do you want to be a starter on an all-star team for the first time in your career ever? Do you want to be a champion? Let me know. I got you." Oh, okay, done deal. While doing it against the best defensive team in the league at that time in this watered-down era, that counts for something. That counts for something. In Boston, one of the hardest places to win. Ask Kobe, ask Magic, ask Isaiah, ask Jordan. It is what it is. You want to start ranking players? You really want to have that conversation? Let's have a real conversation. For all my people who really focus and pay attention to basketball.
Okay. So that's one segment. I'm gonna go ahead and transition to the second segment. Like I said, it's 4 different segments. I'm gonna kind of let the video play a little bit more and kind of like give my thoughts probably after each segment is complete. So this one's like a 2-minute and 20-second segment. I hope that y'all enjoying it. Make sure y'all hit that like button as y'all come in here. This is my guy, the real Eleazy, speaking on the Steph Curry ranking all time. I know he said he wanted people to react to it and, speak upon it. So I'm going to, do my boy a solid. Let me go into another segment real quick.
My God, what's good with you? I see. Let's talk about how the guy got the MVP. Who would you say carried him to that award? Let's just be honest. If one player beats another player 3 times in the championship series, how is that player not better than the other player? I beat you 3 times.
Yeah. I live by the same rules. My thing is, you guys, that goes to the head-to-head match. See, the way I grew up playing and my mindset, and I know E's a bit older than me, but we kind of have that similar same mindset when it comes to hoop, because Kobe is our favorite player. If I put my team against your team and we play, against each other, that's to determine who has bragging rights, right? So you took a look at LeBron James and Steph. When it really matters, he beat you 3 out of 5 times. Regular season record. Let me make sure I got this right. Regular season record right here, 12-11 in his career. Now, of course, there's outlines to it for certain things. Steph coming in, after LeBron, 5 seasons after LeBron. And, you gotta look at, their peaks and their primes and, match it up and stuff like that. Teams. But for the most part, that's why I look at the finals. It's been 3 out of 5 times that Steph has beaten LeBron. And usually that creates the bragging rights. And that's what you saw in the late 2010s. You saw the Warriors getting much of the shine. Now, people are going to go into, because they LeBron's team and Steph's team, I'm going to go into that as well. But I wanted to just highlight that's how you're supposed to think. Your team, whoever, we match up together, we compete. Whoever comes out on top gets those bragging rights. So that's what E is. I'm gonna let this continue.
And the regular season record is pretty close. So if I own you and you wanted to come play with me, you wanted to come join me, not the other way around. There wasn't reports of Steph Curry being traded to the Lakers or Cleveland Cavaliers. The reports is LeBron wanted to go play with Steph Curry, but I did not want people to talk bad about me and receive backlash. If you can go join Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and then bring in Ray Allen, and then the reports was you were trying to get Carmelo Anthony and CP3 to join your team. There's no worse reports than that right there, my friend. That's the end all be all as far as whatever slander that you're warranted or that will be coming your way or any kind of criticism. If you can go try to play with all those players in the way that you snuck K and stole KD from New Orleans and the way that happened, then go and join Steph Curry. You shouldn't care about whatever criticism that you're facing. With all the allegations and all the other things that you're allegedly involved in, that's the worst criticism in the world. But at the end of the day, you just want to go play basketball, right? You would just love to play with another top 75, 100 player in your career to try to see if that can bolster your legacy talks, because you need to get that 5th ring. And the only way you can get that 5th ring without the NBA really cheating for you and all the other teams laying down for you, you have to go play with another great player in order to do so, because you're not built like that.
Damn. Let me stop it right there. As y'all come in here, make sure y'all smash that like button. Hit that like button as y'all come in. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy. We are reacting to the real Eleazy. Shout out to the town business. Shout out to my boy Eleazy from the town, Bay Area, all that. Fun fact about me. So I'm from Southern California. I raised out down here. You know what I mean? But I was born actually in Northern California in Valley Joe, in Vallejo. Spent the first few years of my life out there. So I do remember certain things about it. And I do go up there to visit up there often. So I do got Bay Area, Northern California, Central Valley roots. So yeah, Valley Joe, Vallejo. If y'all know it, if y'all don't know, y'all know now. If you know, you know. But hometown E40. But I want to put this out here, man. He said something that really I don't think people have really talked about enough. And that's LeBron's teammates and who he's played with. So again, I researched. Well, I didn't research, just kind of, refresh my memory yesterday. And I said, damn, he said teammates. So I was like, okay, well, let me just look through something real quick. And when you talk about LeBron and some of his best teammates through his career, Dwayne Wade is the top of the creme, right? 2 championships with Dwayne Wade. You got Kyrie Irving, 1 championship with him. Anthony Davis. So these are the guys he's won championships with as their second banana, all 3 guys. So if you look at that, right, 2 or 3 of these guys are top 75 players, right? And one of them you can make a case in Kyrie, who should have been a top 75 player. When you got Damian Lillard, you got Dwight Howard out, you got Paul George out, Kyrie Irving could have been in that, bottom top 75 as well. But he didn't end up making it. So that's one thing. But he was very, very vital to LeBron getting that 2016 Finals championship, of course, with the shot. And then, you know what I'm saying, I think he averaged, 28 points per game and closed out, game 7. So that's another teammate that was with LeBron James. And then you talk about Chris Bosh, who he won a championship with as well as a third option, part of that Big Three super team. 4 NBA Finals appearances in 4 years with 2 championships. And this is a guy who had his own team, right, in Toronto. People forget Chris Bosh had his own team as a number 1 option for a number of years before he even went to the Miami Heat. And really, blood clots slowed his career, but he was perfect for that system. A stretch big, can defend the paint, right? Can score around the basket, good hands, lefty, good size, all that athleticism. And again, he was part of it. He was the main guy on his own team, right? Same thing with K Love with Minnesota, kind of carbon copies of Chris Bosh. Third option, who was a former first option, who was very, very dominant at his position, put in a lot of stats. Now, as far as winning in Minnesota, Kevin Love didn't do that. But as his individual production, dude was having double career years. I think he had a game where he had 20 plus rebounds and 20 plus points. He set a record or something at that time. And you had him on your team as a third option, right? You had Ray Allen, Jesus Shuttlesworth as a option, really, who just came off a championship a couple years prior, or a championship. He just came to a championship appearance a couple years prior with Boston. Still a very vital guy, right? And he's a top 75 player as well. You just had him a little bit after his prime. But I always say this, he's responsible for LeBron James getting that championship in Miami in 2013. 2013, because to be quite honest with you, that shot that he hit in the corner really is what kept LeBron from going, 3 for 7 in the finals. You're closer to that than you would be, 5 and 5 at 500 off of that one shot. Now, I know people are going to look at it like, well, damn, what about all the other games? And, what about San Antonio having a chance to win the next one? I'm just putting things in perspective, right? The shot Ray Allen hit in the corner really saved LeBron from going down even worse in his career. Shaq, obviously, we ain't going to talk about him. He was old. Dwight Howard won a championship with him, who's one, of course, of being one of the top 75 players. Multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, and really was the formula for them to really beat the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. And him letting him go and JaVale McGee go has put a position for Anthony Davis to have to play center, which obviously he's not comfortable with. But y'all get the point. Rajon Rondo helped him get a championship in the bubble as well. You know what I'm saying? All these guys, Hall of Famers and top 75 players that LeBron had, he played a long time. Yeah, is definitely validity to it. But I wanted to highlight that just to kind of put out the point that he's played with a lot of different stars, and then when people come back to me and tell me LeBron don't have this, LeBron don't have that, just look at who he's played with and the teams that he's been able to build. So I'm gonna let you continue, with the video.
Don't roll like that. Steph don't trade people. Steph don't lobby for people to be traded. Steph don't lobby for people to be, brought in from other places. Steph just worries about what Steph can control, and that's showing up each and every night, being the best player that he can be for his team. He's not one of those egotistical control freaks like some other players that we know around the league. Steph is not going to come out in the media and talk and give himself all the glory. Steph isn't going to call himself the greatest, whatever. That's just not how the guy rolls. If anybody has been paying attention to his whole career, Steph is a big believer in Christ. That's how he was raised. The dude is super humble. and he just works hard. And at the end of the day, when we want to talk about the greatest players to ever lace his shoes up, and we have to go by the era that he played in. But I still believe that Steph will still be able to manage and play in other eras with his ball handling ability and ability to shoot and extend his range. But Steph Curry ain't playing with no other top 75 player other than KD. Klay Thompson not a top 75 player. Draymond Green not a top 75 player. And that's crazy because when y'all try to discredit Steph Curry, y'all always bring up Draymond Green and Klay Thompson as if they move the needle, as if they make everything go. Have players won without their, their key role players and their key role guys? Probably not. At least not won a championship. Because that's not how the NBA works. They're not going to allow you to win without other players, important role players that fit within a certain framework and a certain system on your team to help you win. Do you think Jordan would have won without Pippen? Without Kukoc, without Rodman, without all these other guys, and then without Horace Grant playing at the top of his level, without B.J. Armstrong, without Craig Hodges, without John Paxson, all of the players fit within that framework. Look what happened when the Joker, or look what happened when Giannis lost a key role player on that championship team. Then look what happened. You have to have your guys available and ready to play. It's going to be hard for you to win without your key guys. Did Kobe win without Lamar Odom, without Artest? Well, he won without Artest because he had Trevor Reeser. But did he win without, key guys on the squad? No. Did LeBron win without all the guys that he played with? I'm not even going to begin to start naming those people because he played with damn near the best players that ever played the damn game. So, but did he win without them? Hell no, he didn't. Okay? So let's just keep it 100. So on and so forth, you get my drift. So, the same people that say, oh, he had Steph and Draymond, he had Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. But then everybody say Klay Thompson and Draymond Green are trash. So which one is it? You can't have it both ways. You can't say in one argument that he had Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and then in another argument say, oh, they trash. They're not Hall of Fame players, or they're not this. They're not all stars. They're not all NBA performers. No, they're just good role players. Did all of them teams that Robert Horry was on, did they win championships without Robert Horry? Let's be honest. Did the Lakers?
All right, as y'all come in, make sure y'all smash that like button. I know that was a little bit longer, but I wanted to let my man E kind of get all of his thoughts out. But as y'all come in, make sure y'all smash that like button. So I want to depict here a couple things. So I did a video, I want to say like it was right at the Olympics. And my guy who is Hendo spoke upon, he said he got Steph over LeBron after that, performance that he put on those last two games. And I did a video kind of, reacting to that. And I said, I couldn't rank Steph over LeBron just yet. And it was just because of the tenure and the amount of time LeBron's been playing, which can also be a double. It could be a negative because you're playing all this time, but what are you actually playing for? You playing for championships? Are you playing for stats? What are you playing for? And even if whatever the case may be, I still think his resume is one of the best as far as the longest. As much stuff on there that I think Steph needs a little bit more to get there. But I also say, just because Steph ain't in front of him now, don't mean he can't pass him. And something that E done said in this video is that he's getting better. He's not getting worse, meaning his individual game, he can still dominate a game. And he's also as dominant as he was about 3-4 years ago because he's stronger, right? He's stronger and he can't just get pushed around. Because remember them times you used to hear people say, Steph, just, be physical with him. When the last time you heard that when it comes to Steph Curry, just be physical with him? Well, the reason why you can't just be physical with him is because he put on weight in the weight room. He's put on strength. He's put on, you could tell in his physique, he spends time in the weight room. And then it comes out by Draymond Green, his teammate, which I'm gonna talk to y'all right now, that he's in the weight room after every single game. So he's been on a process with his trainer to actually put on weight because it's going to help prolong his career. So very, very smart on his behalf. But I want to talk about the last segment you was saying, right? So I showed y'all all of Steph Curry or LeBron's teammates, who he played with, top 75 players, all-stars, all that good stuff. And I didn't even finish the list. There was other players on that list that were former all-stars and former, star players in the league that I didn't even get to. But if you look at just what Stephen played with, the number one thing people highlight is that he played with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green for his entire career, right? So let's compare and contrast something real quick. So let's talk about Klay and Dre for a minute. Now, if you look at Klay Thompson's career and somebody that Steph has looked at as being the splash brother, this was his best teammate as far as the tenure and the core. And now that Klay's on Dallas, the core is not what it once was. And that's going to be kind of a little disruption next season because even though Klay has dropped off from what he was, him, Draymond, and Steph all prove they need one another. When each one of them guys are out, the Warriors struggle. The Warriors didn't have Klay Thompson for like 2 years, 2.5 years. After he tore his ACL and tore his Achilles. And you guys saw the effect it had. They weren't even making the playoffs. They were in the play-in. They were struggling. Klay Thompson comes back, still not 100%, still needed time to get back into himself. They win the finals in 2022. So Klay's definitely a big integral piece to that core. So now that he's no longer there, they're going to, have to, probably, readjust some things and try to, find out how to, play without, one of the old Splash Brothers. But E's point is that Klay didn't come in and is not a top 75 player right now. He's not a person that you look at that he actually moves the needle like a Anthony Davis, like a Dwayne Wade, like a Kyrie Irving, like a Chris Bosh, like a Kevin Love. Well, I'll say in the dynasty years, I'll say Kevin Love and Chris Bosh as far as a third option, but Klay's never been a first option on any team. So this is what Steph Curry had to work with. They were built to be great. They didn't come in the NBA great. Klay Thompson was the first pick as a first 11 pick in the first round, which is pretty much lottery. But he came in as a person that filled in a role, not a person you look into actually build your team around. So when you talk about Klay and then you switch over to Draymond, it gets even less more impactful as far as, or less more star driven, because Draymond came in the second round as a 35th pick, right? That's the tail end of the draft. And you're not really coming in to lead anything. And this is how crazy the draft could be in the NBA. That's why it's the hardest league to get into. You got guys who won national championships and been stars on their team coming in the first, second round. Draymond Green didn't come in as a star, and he's still not a star now. But what he is, like every great team needs, is a guy that plays up a specific role around the star. The reason why Draymond continuously stays on the team, no matter how many antics he throws, how many closed fists he throws, how many tantrums he throws, is because the main guy has not lobbied him off the team, because the reason he ain't lobbied him off the team is because Steph has grown accustomed and grown comfortable with a playing style that's conducive to winning, and Draymond's a huge part of it. Not to say Clay wasn't, but because of the injuries Clay has sustained, there's other options out there for people to put the ball in the basket and that are younger. But there's not Draymond Greens who actually know exactly where Steph likes the ball, knows when to actually use the actual pass, cut into the basket, the shots that Steph takes on the perimeter. Draymond does the dribble handoffs too. We call them DHOs in basketball terminology. There's no one in the league that really has that type of timing and chemistry with Steph Curry. So he continuously stays on the team. But based off of you're saying this is what he's done had his career as far as winning and being successful. If you compare that to what LeBron has had, this goes to the point where Steph has done more with less, or as more with less as far as on the winning side. So when he says you had Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, well, what the Warriors did, you can't really do nothing but respect it, because they actually built what they have. Vice versa, try to, make super teams here and there and actually try to convert something. That's not cheating. That's actually building what you have and actually is manifesting. They start off building a dynasty. They didn't have KD their first year. They get KD the next two championships, and they win without KD the fourth championship to actually solidify it. So at that point, you can really say that the Warriors really earned what they have. As y'all come in to make sure y'all smash that like button. But Draymond and Klay Thompson are now guys that literally you can say they're cheating the process. Now, again, everybody got on Kevin Durant or got on Steph Curry and got the Warriors because of KD coming. But I want y'all to kind of hear what E has to say about that real quick. I'm going to replay a part when he talks about Kevin Durant, because it kind of spoke volumes, and it actually was like, okay, yeah. All right, 1 second.
It is what it is. You want to start ranking players? You really want to have that conversation? Let's have a real conversation. For all my people who really focus and pay attention to basketball, can we have a real conversation? I'm tired of the narratives, bro. I ain't gonna create a narrative to get likes. I don't have to do that, because I'm gonna keep it 100, and I'm gonna be consistent on that. Steph Curry is top 5 all time, and his career isn't even over, and he's still at the top of his game. Once he start declining, you know what I'm saying? Then we can start going on to the next guy. But you name me somebody who's saving careers like Steph Curry saving careers. KD can't do it. KD didn't went to go play with top 75 players and Hall of Fame players. James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving. The list, we can keep going. Devin Booker. And it still didn't work. Right?
So E spoke upon right there just Steph's impact and, where he's ranked right now, but also how Kevin Durant, the guy that a lot of people say that saved Steph Curry, really has turned out to be the person that hasn't been able to get over the hump since he left Golden State, which has been, I remember when people said that Steph was saved by KD. I know a lot of people talk about this, man. Like, they were saying Steph was saved by KD. Like, they say the only reason they won because they got Kevin Durant on the team, this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. But you look at it and fast forward 3-4 years later, because what year we fast forward 5 years later, because KD left in 2019 to go play with Kyrie in Brooklyn. KD has went to no conference finals, and he's went to one conference semifinals in the last, or two conference semifinals, if you count the Clippers with Kawhi getting hurt in 2023. The rest have been filled with an injury, first round exits, and no real movement as far as the winning is concerned. And we all know why KD left Golden State, because he didn't feel appreciated off the 2 championships that he won, if we're going to keep it 100, and Draymond Green's crazy ass. That's why KD is no longer in the Bay Area. But Steph, and I had to think about this for a second. I'm like, damn, Steph did win a title after KD left. And it was personal. You could tell it was personal because after the game was over against Boston, he was literally crying like tears. And I think Bob Myers got on the All the Smoke podcast and spoke about how Steph was at a point where he just wanted the people to give him his just due, because he got tired of hearing about Kevin Durant being the reason why he's where he's at, even though the man won a title before KD got there. Well, the 4th title was to solidify and close the casket. The first title was to open the door. The 4th title was to close the door. And not only did you close the door, but KD can't win outside of joining you. So that's another example of Steph's impact. All these guys are somehow going to win or winning with him in this, with the Warriors, because of the way Steph Curry's able to play with other stars. Well, really just one star, but other players in general. They've gotten rings and they've left and haven't gotten nothing else since. Right? Jordan Poole, David West, David Lee, Sean Livingston, Andrew Wiggins. I mean, we'll see what happens with Klay Thompson. You got Kevin Durant, obviously. So when you factor all that stuff in and you see the impact, just not with role players, but another top 20 player of all time in KD, you have to look a little bit deeper into what these people are talking about, with Steph being ranked the top 10 of, fit 5 player, or in at least a top 10 player for me. Do I think he's top 10? I think he's, you could make the case. My only thing with Steph is when it's harder to rank a little guy in the top 10. And I guess that's why I was so hesitant to put him over LeBron, because his inability to be playing like both ways of the ball at an elite level because of his size. But quiet is kept. Steph is not like a cone on defense. Like, he does put effort. He's actually average at defense. He has active hands. He has pretty quick feet. He's not the most fastest person by the measurements, but by his effort and by his instincts and by his, quickness, quick reflexes, he's a pretty respectable defender at his position, right? And that's all you can really, kind of talk about his position. He's not paid to guard guys who are 3-4 inches taller than him, like 50, 60 pounds heavier than him. Now you're talking about another conversation. Can you guard point guards and shooting guards at your position without getting torched all the time? Yeah, that's a true fact. But it's another fact that, you gotta look at the amount of people KD done played it with, and see, KD's done taken a lot of LeBron's handbook. So what that means is the moves, and you kind of see the effect, are both kind of the same. It's just that KD took it a step farther, joining the 73-9 Golden State Warriors, which goes against the point that KD was the solely factor why the Warriors got with it, because they already won a title and they went 73-9 without him. So is it Steph needs KD more, or KD needs Steph more in this career? I think it's KD needs Steph more. Not just off of, the success the Warriors can have, but also the person Steph is. Like, as a human being, you just want guys like Steph on the court with you, because he brings a certain calmness. There's no toxicity around him, and that's the difference between LeBron and playing with LeBron and Steph. You had a lot of free agents that had the opportunity to play with LeBron this offseason, and they all turned it down. And let's just be honest, when you have a star player, that's where the players usually tend to want to go, especially if they're in free agency. Klay Thompson, prime example. You play with a guy like LeBron, it's essentially the same thing as Luka. It's just Luka's a lot more younger than LeBron James, but they play exactly the same way for the most part. They on the offensive end. But I think LeBron James is still a more athletic, faster, stronger player. And you would be back in Los Angeles playing for the Lakers. And I think you'd be getting paid a little bit more, but you chose to go to Luka Doncic. KD said this also. He said it's a toxic environment playing with LeBron. Not to say he's toxic, but the environment is toxic because of how the media tends to cater to him. But as far as KD as a person, I mean KD's kind of his mentality. He seems to like to team up with other stars. You got Kyrie, you got James Harden, you got Devin Booker, you got Chris Paul, you got Russell Westbrook. You had, I mean, of course, the Warriors with Steph Curry. So you had all these players before and after, and you still couldn't win. Same thing with LeBron. People talk about who we had to go up against, but I like to look at it like you had teams that were favored as well. Don't act like you were always the team that just wasn't favored or the team that didn't have the better team. Don't act like you didn't face a young OKC Thunder team with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, which you were getting your first championship. Don't act like you didn't face an older Spurs team with Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker while you was in your prime with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, who was just right outside of his prime. Don't act like you didn't have that advantage. Don't act like you didn't have the advantage against Steph Curry and the Warriors when you had Anthony Davis and Steph Curry had a guy off of Klay Thompson coming off a 2 season-ending injuries, and a Draymond Green who, for more intenses and purposes, was playing the center position. You had a lot of help, and you had a lot of people who really assisted you in those big moments. But no one speaks about what LeBron has had the advantage of. It's only what he has the disadvantage of. And that goes to the point where they want to erase his losses in the finals. Another great point he made in 2015, even though I understand he didn't have Kyrie and K Love, you was up 2-1 against the Warriors. And the Warriors were not a super team at that time. They didn't have Kevin Durant. They didn't have a championship. They were still figuring it out. And you know why? How I know that? Because in 2014, the year before, we had beat them in 7 games in the first round. So no one was really checking on the Warriors. They came in, they built a foundation, and Steve Kerr came in after Mark Jackson. Salute to Mark Jackson. Steve Kerr continued the system that Mark Jackson created, and they won a championship the year after. First round exit to NBA champions. So while I still give him, I guess, the injury excuse because you didn't have your second and third best player, I'm also going to say if you are the best player in the world and you one of the top 5 players in the NBA, and you look at the Warriors who were unproven and you were up 2-1, there are certain guys, and this is why I keep LeBron out of the Kobe and Jordan debate, that when they smell blood, they're going to take the kill. And they're going to do whatever by necessary and whatever means to get it done. And LeBron is not that type of guy. Does he show it in spurts? Yes. You look at the Celtics in 2008, Game 6. You look at the Celtics also in 2010. You know, there's certain moments where he will take over. But when he meets somebody that's a team that's smarter than him and more mentally tougher, he'll fold. A la the San Antonio Spurs, a la the Golden State Warriors, a la the Dallas Mavericks, which was another team that they should have beat, but because of the heroics of Dirk Nowitzki, who didn't have Caron Butler, their second best player, and had guys like JJ Barea and Jason Terry, they were able to win. That's just it's similar as 2015 with LeBron not having Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Dirk won the championship without his second best player in Caron Butler. So you try to erase 2015, you try to erase 2017, which to me, I don't understand that one because you had Kyrie and Kevin Love right there. Or 2017, you had Kyrie and Kevin Love. And you got Molly Wop, you got Gentlemen Swept. And then 2018 wasn't even worth talking about. But these are the losses they tried to erase. So if you're gonna erase the losses, how about the wins where they were just sideline favorite, like against the OKC Thunder in 2012? You're not gonna erase that. No one tries to erase because it's something that he actually won the title. Nobody has time for that. And like I said, I have LeBron over Steph for now, but there is an opportunity for Steph to pass him up. And I know what LeBron fans are going to say. It's all about the statistics and the stats. Well, for me, like I say, stats only go so far when you can't get where you need to get to. And that's why I'm ready for LeBron to get out and retire, because he's only up here really taking up space, piling up stats, trying to, create more of a narrative. Because to me personally, I don't think he's playing because off the love of the game. I think he's playing off the love of the attention and trying to create the more media narrative for him to push this GOAT debate, which I think has been shut, closed, hammered down since 2011, me personally. And like I said, I'll continuously have claims and statements like that for LeBron fanatics, because what they like to do is they try to, switch it around and make it seem like everybody else has the problem except them. All of a sudden that Kobe can't be argued to be in the top 5. You're crazy if you put that, but you got this man outside your top 10, and we can't rebut that. That's called a throw rocks and hide your hands syndrome. But it made me think with some of the stuff that he was speaking about with this Steph Curry and LeBron James debate. You asking Steph Curry to play with you, right?
Into the world, Sure. Who else you want to play with? In today's game, shit. Man, there's some motherfuckers in today's game, but Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's the one.
Steph Curry's the one that I want to play with for sure in today's game. All time. It's crazy, man. I love Scottie Pippen, bro.
Really?
Yeah, Scottie was like the shit. Like, I mean, obviously MJ was crazy.
So I just really wanted to play the first 20 seconds of this clip, but this was LeBron speaking about, they asked the question who he wanted to play with, and he said Steph Curry. And he's been eyeing this over the last couple of years. He's been wanting to, play with Steph. And really, when you watch him and Steph Curry play, there is a little bit of some magic there. Like you saw that in the Olympics. Well, really, shit, I wouldn't say it was magic them together. I just think, again, it's just more so Steph's ability to either step aside or the ability to take over. He can do both. That's the one thing about Steph that I would say is pretty impressive. Probably the biggest thing. As great as he is, he has no ego, or very little ego. He doesn't mind taking a backseat, a la Kevin Durant, a la LeBron James, and allow them to do what they want to do. Now, people may say, well, that's because Kevin Durant's a better individual player. Well, I can't tell, because Steph has been able to win without KD, and he's been able to win with KD, and KD has not been able to win without Steph. I saw the same defense against the Warriors that KD struggled with against the Celtics in 2022 of the playoffs. Of course, yes, the scheming was different. Of course, all that was different. Yes. Teams were different. Coaching was different. But as a player, Steph Curry is a better player off the ball, and he's able to move without the ball to actually force defense to really have to, key in on him. But all I'm saying is that the guy got 2 championships without the same person people said he couldn't win with, or he couldn't win without with. So that kind of throws away that whole argument that KD saved Steph Curry. Sound like to me it's the other way around, but I found this very interesting that this man has been lobbying to get Steph Curry over the last few years. LeBron and Steph, you ain't heard no reports about him wanting to play with him. And that just goes to basically who I think LeBron and Steph is. Look, there's only, yes, there's circumstances, there's, things in an environment that kind of presume how we think. But for the most part, people are who they are and who they shaped and who they are ingrained with. And that's why I respect my boy E so much. There's certain cats, especially on this YouTube, that I'm very, very, selective who I deal with. If you look at me, bro, most of the times that I've had problems with certain people are people I've, pretty much kind of sniffed out and just kind of look at as kind of phony. That's how really I look at a lot with this YouTube stuff. There's a select group of guys that I've had issues with, that come and try to, approach a certain way, and then they find out different, and then they try to act like they're the victim. Because for the most part, anybody that's on my podcast or know what I'm about, I'm always the chill, cool, laid back dude. And that seems to be the problem. That's something I've had to deal with in my whole life, is that people like us, no one can really just appreciate, good-hearted people. They got to do everything they can to try to manipulate the situation and try to, I guess, take advantage. And when they find out different, oh, BJ's, I didn't know he was going to do that, they get wide-eyed. Yes, I will be cool as the other side of the pillar, but I will jump on your ass at the same time. So that's why I always tell people, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. But what I respect about E, and I've always had respect about him personally, this is outside of basketball, it's just his morality and his morals and how he is. So I have no issue always, saying, go follow E, go, check his content out. Very funny dude, knows the game. I got no issue with that. Right. But LeBron is the type of person, and it's just who he is. Like KD, they enjoy playing with more and more stars and more help. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to win if you're going to get all that help. You can't be asking for help and then not do nothing with the help, or very limited with the help. That's what KD, I think, did better than LeBron. Actually one up to him. Okay, he went to a super team, but he didn't lose with that same super team outside of getting hurt that one year in 2019. This man has lost with super teams. He has gotten people traded. You had ruined careers. Russell Westbrook, who is a all-time great top 75 player, which I did not name as well. You almost got him ran out the league, and then he comes to us, and everybody loves him again. That should have been the main caveat, that this guy has a problem playing with certain guys, and if it's not fit perfectly with his playing style, then it's going to be your fault. And that's why people, I think, choose not to really, run to LeBron anymore. They used to try to make this notion that LeBron makes all his teammates better. I'm like, yeah, maybe when he was his early years, but after Miami, really something happened where his game is pretty much, everybody else's game must go down for his to go up, or a lot of people's game must go down for him to go up. And they don't go back up until he leaves. D Wade, his game left. It got risen up after LeBron left. Kevin Love's game went after LeBron left. Right? So, Steph, you ain't got to worry about that. You just come in and play. Andrew Wiggins just come here and play. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Poole come here and play. Kevin Durant come here and play. True. Fact. Check. Steph Curry don't complain. You don't hear nothing about him wanting to trade his teammates. And but quiet is kept. People talk about LeBron James needs help. Shit. To me, Steph Curry, when I look at that Warrior team, he the one needs help. But you won't hear him say that, because that's not who he is. It's called, again, you're ingrained with certain things inside of you. And because of that, there's certain lines you won't cross, because there's relationships that you've built. He's built a relationship with Klay Thompson. He's built a relationship with Draymond Green. He's built a relationship with Steve Kerr. And you got people who want him gone. He's another person. If Steph wanted Steve Kerr gone, he would have been out the door. But you can see they have a actual connection. So very similar to Kobe's. He has a, old school, no nonsense, no excuse mentality. I think because people think Steph is, a baby face and he light skinned, that he's somehow just, soft. He a very strong-minded individual, and he's a loyal individual. Like, if you with him, you with him, and it's up to you if you want to leave. Even when Klay Thompson, even though he struggled in that closeout game, he told Steph Curry not to vouch for him. Steph didn't push Klay out the door. If that was LeBron James, he probably would have pushed Klay out the door and probably threw out his luggage as well. Two different people. It is what it is. But strong video by my boy E. Go follow him. At the Real Eleazy. A Warrior fan. Great content. Should Steph Curry be ranked over LeBron James? If you guys believe so, why? If y'all do not, tell me why. But until next time, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out of here like swim.
I'm feeling good. Feeling all right tonight. I'm feeling good now. Yeah, it's all good in the neighborhood, homie. Living wild. I feel good. I feel alright. Cruising through my neighborhood on a warm summer night. I feel good. That's right. I feel good now. Summer night. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, I'll be ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Top on drop, all the girls looking hot, hit the photo and we just don't stop. Party until the morning light. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. I just kicked it at home. I polished up the chrome, called the Ruka on the phone, let her know I'm home alone. It's 7:30 and the sun's going down. It's a summer night and the fun's going down. I pick her up and she looks all dolled up, sitting passenger in my rag and Paula. Yeah, I let her know that she looks beautiful to me. The world's an ugly place, but she is such a sight to see. The kind of woman that would put up a fight for me. The kind that wants to spend the summer nights with me. The temp was 80 and I'm cruising with my lady, playing some Rafi Bagan, Ooh baby, baby. I see my homeboys and the cruising in the ride, with their ladies sitting by their side. People think we look crazy, but I think we look classy. But then again, that's only if you ask me. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, I'll be ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Keep the top on drop, all the girls looking hot, hit the photo and we just don't stop. Party until the morning light. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. My homeboys throw in the backyard boogies, so everybody gets together to unwind, relax and have a fun time. The DJ spinning, so I grab the mic and be like, ain't nothing like them summer nights. The party's packed with beautiful women and the gang of the homies that wanna get with them. And they'll say anything just to hit them, and it's usually a nice summer night when they did them. I don't know, it must be something in the air. Can't help but have a good time because the feeling is there. To some people, the feeling is rare. They're at the past saying, God damn, I wish I was there. To have a drink, have a token, hook up with someone fine, but the kind that looks up. Gotta keep some pisto in the cup, party until the sun comes up, but we give up. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, I'll be ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Keep the top on drop, all the girls looking hot, hit the photo and we just don't stop. Party until the morning light. Like them summer nights. Them summer nights can keep a smile on your face. Gotta try to have a good time with your life, otherwise it's just a waste. Either way, I'm gonna party just in case. Like Prince party like it was 99 and 87, 88. I couldn't ask for no better weather. I'm right next to the Pacific, to be specific. The candy paint job, close under the moonlight, as I close out my summer night and say goodnight. It's time to put the top up and park it, drop it, unplug the ground, roll up the windows and lock it. Walk in the pad and fall into bed as she lays on my chest to rest her sleepy head. And we do this all night long, from dusk till dawn. But it's not quite the same when summer nights are gone. But even when they're gone, it won't be long. 8 more months and once again it's on. Summer days just sitting around, but when the sun goes down, I'll be ready to party. Ain't nothing like them summer nights. Keep the top on drop, all the girls looking hot, hit the photo and we just don't stop. stop.